I feel like God healed me from my like postpartum anxiety and depression. Hello and happy Easter. I am getting ready for church right now. I'm doing my favorite hairstyle. I've been clamping my hair like this since literally middle school. It's never let me down. It's always the perfect like beachy wave. I feel like I openly talk about my faith now like on social media, but I feel like I don't necessarily share like how we got here. My husband, he grew up in like an all Christian family. Everyone in his family works at the church. Dad is the pastor of our church. I just did not grow up that way, and that's totally fine. My family would go to church on like big holidays like Christmas, Easter, and stuff like that, but never necessarily like regularly. I just viewed it as like a social event. And honestly, I feel like I just dreaded it, and I never really liked going when I was like in middle school. And then I got to high school, and I feel like you kind of start going through a little bit of like harder things in your life. Some girls on my basketball team invited me to go to this thing called Young Life. I had no idea what that was. They were just like, oh, there's gonna be like free food, and like we're all just like hanging out, and there'll be like games and stuff. At the time, I was honestly kind of looking for reasons not to be home. I was like, you know what, fine, let's go. Young Life essentially is like a student ministries organization. It's not necessarily like tied to a church or anything like that. It was honestly so chill. We did play games. There was like normal music, but there was also like worship music happening. As someone who didn't really fully understand the depth of like Jesus and the church and all of those things, it was like the perfect beginning for me. I was like obsessed, and I started going to Young Life all the time. I eventually became like a Young Life leader, started going to church. I was even committed to like go to a different college, and I was gonna run track there. And then super last minute, God just came in and changed my path, because I ended up moving across the country to go to a Christian school to play basketball. And I was definitely like believing in God at this point. Ow. Being in an environment like that where like everybody believes the same thing that you do, everyone's your same age, I feel like everybody was kind of just trying to like figure it out. Do you see the difference? My hair is like wavy, but this just looks like put together. I met all of my best friends at school. I met my husband. I am just genuinely such a different person from when I like started college to ending college. I feel like people think about, oh, I don't want to be a Christian because I don't want to like follow all the rules. Like I feel like that is a very like boring life. I can honestly confidently say, as someone who has lived both lives, my life is just better now. And I was trying to like do everything on my own, just living life the best I could without a faith and without God. I was working a 9-to-5 job because that is what seemed like safe to me. I was so unhappy doing that. Then it was like, oh, I started to post a few things on social media, and I was like, things are actually kind of doing well. Instead of my like boring 9-to-5 job that I was not passionate about, I started just kind of like listening to the little voice in my head that is, I feel like, God speaking to me. I suddenly started trusting God, going out on a limb and filming videos, even though it's kind of like out of the ordinary. People weren't doing it. I was so happy doing it, and I saw that things were like performing well, and I just felt like I was supposed to like do this. And I was like, you know what, God, I just trust you. So I quit my 9-to-5 job, and I started doing social media full time, and now this is the best job I could have ever imagined. Another misconception about like being a Christian is like, okay, like once you give your life to God, then like everything is all good. Like you'll never struggle again. You'll never go through hard things, which is like not true at all. I just had a baby. This postpartum season has been honestly one of the hardest times for me, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. A little over 4 months postpartum now, and I genuinely feel like God healed my like postpartum anxiety and depression. It all started with a conversation with my friend Natalie, and I was just kind of telling her, oh yeah, like I'm feeling so anxious. Isaac is about to be out of town, like I'm about to be with the baby, and we were just like laughing about it. You know, we knew I was gonna be this like anxious parent though, like that's just like my personality is like I'm just anxious. In that moment, she was just kind of like, what if you just like didn't basically claim that over your life? Obviously it's okay to say like, you know, you're struggling with anxiety and things like that, but she was just like, words have so much power, and instead of like already claiming before the event even happens that you're so anxious about it, basically going into it being like, you know what, no matter how much sleep I get tonight, God can rejuvenate me and restore my energy. No matter if the baby keeps screaming, crying, and it's like to the point of I'm gonna crash out, I can have a peaceful and calm mind because that is who God is, and those are the like attributes of him, and he can do that over your life. Ever since that conversation, that has just been like a constant thing that I've been like telling myself postpartum. Not to say that I'm still not like struggling with like postpartum emotions and stuff like that, but ever since I've like changed my mindset, kind of just like had this moment with God and started like praying those like attributes of God over my life, I have just felt a cloud has lifted. Moments that I should not have peace, for some reason I just have this like peace, and I'm like, oh, all good, like I can handle this. I just know that like I would have not been able to do this without my faith in God. I just briefly brimmed over so much information of my life. Each of these topics is like so much more deep, and there's so many more things that go into them, but this is just it for now. So I love you guys, and happy Easter.